Hello, welcome back to A Course in Miracles. I'm Tomas Garza, and well, lesson 273. All right, ready to meditate today? Are you ready to sit in stillness today? In peace, quiet, tranquility? You ready to put your Twitter feed down? Are you ready to put YouTube down? And after you watch this, even you can put this YouTube video down. I said you could. Jesus said you could. So you have express permission. Today's lesson is all about who we are. Of course, each and every one of these lessons is about the exact same thing. It's who we are. It needs to be presented in 365 different ways, and then some, doesn't it? Yeah. Because as teachers in this world, you're one too, by the way, we never know what someone's going to need to hear on a given day. You don't know what you're going to say. You don't know what you're going to do. It may even be smiling at somebody and saying hello. You don't know what is going to deeply and profoundly impact them. So your responsibility, my responsibility, is to show up and teach, extend love. You don't know who you're going to impact, and you don't have any idea the depth to which you'll impact them. You might make someone's day just by smiling at them. You might make someone's day just by saying hello. We don't know what's going on in other people's minds. We can gather a lot from our own intuition, just being in their space, right? What are they putting out? Yeah. But we don't know if someone's having a real rough patch necessarily in their lives. We don't know if they've had a bad day, if they've just opened their mail to discover that they're being evicted, they're being foreclosed upon, right? Being sued. We don't know. Ours is to simply show up and teach. All right. So lesson 273 is where we are today in the workbook, and it is about meditation. I know. This coming from a meditation instructor, I would say that. But it is. Lesson 273 is the stillness of the peace of God is mine. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. How is it yours? It is you. It is you. It's who you are. That's how you can claim it as your own. It's you. So put in those terms, why wouldn't you claim it as your own? Much would, right? Right? So lesson 273 just invites us to a day of tranquility. If we can't reach that right now, wouldn't it be nice to know how you get there? It says that. I'm paraphrasing. You can read it and see exactly the words that Jesus selected. That's the gist. If you can't reach for the tranquility of the peace of God right now, you can reach for a better feeling in the moment. And wouldn't it be nice to have all of the tools and to know that you do have all of the tools to reach that now, right now, today. But for the choosing, and when we go out into the world and it spills its bullshit upon us, when we're presented with images of division and strife, hatred and fear, people honking at people, people flipping each other off, and traffic, political battles, Or, right, when we're faced with the bullshit that the world dishes out, we can invite ourselves to a little moment of peace and tranquility. We're 100% worthy of this peace and tranquility because it's who we are. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. And when you're feeling disturbed, the lesson here in the workbook invites us to say just that. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. It's an immediate antidote to frustration and fear. It's an immediate mental, emotional, spiritual, psychological pattern interrupt. So when all the crap on your news feed pulls you away from the peace of God, simply remember awareness, right? Awareness in the present moment. The stillness of the peace of God is mine, mine. And claim it, own it, claim it. This is about owning and claiming who we really are. As we forgive, as we get out of our own way, as we allow our teacher to run the show for us, realizing and acknowledging that of ourselves we can do nothing. Sound familiar? Yeah. As we do this, this peace and stillness opens up for us. You'll find, if you have not found already, you will find that you have more access to it. You're allowing truth to simply be. This does, in fact, mean you're allowing yourself to be as you are, with none of the extraneous crap attached, with none of the judgment attached, with none of the hatred or the anxiety or the fear or the lashing out or the desire to hold grudges against some people while you forgive others, right? None of that. Forgiveness is a wish to allow truth to be as it is, for things to be as they are, and for you to be one with this because you are. Letting things be as they are. I've said many times on these videos that spirituality is incredibly simple, and well, it is, isn't it? It's disarmingly simple. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, because think about it. We go through life complicating everything. We get in our own heads. Every single one of us does in one degree or another, right? We get in our own heads and we complicate things. We overthink. We mistrust. When what we should be doing is learning to relax and trust, learning to own who we are. This can look like many things, actually, in the world. It can look like owning who you're meant to be. It can look like owning your gifts and your greatness, because you do have them. How do I know? Well, it's shared. The stillness of the peace of God is yours. Guys, one with God means one with God. One does not imply, nor does it suggest anything other than oneness. One does not equal two. I don't care who tells you that. It's not the way it is. Now, you could choose to believe that 1 equals 2, that 2 and 2 are 3, based on what your parents told you, based on what society tells you, your partner, your boss at work. I don't know. 1 means 1. So we're all owning this. Spirituality is about owning this. And yes, for the record, I have had a personal meditation practice for about 37 years. So I would, I would say meditation is good. Now, why is it good? Why do it? Why is it such a thing in today's day and age? Because when I was growing up, it was not a thing. I started a personal meditation practice when I was in high school. I was fortunate enough to have a 10th grade geometry teacher who was an old hippie and had the entire class do basic sitting meditation at the beginning of class. Now, of course, kids rolled their eyes. They thought, why the hell are we doing this? This is stupid. And I kind of wondered myself why we were doing it. Yet I found myself really connecting to just taking a few breaths in the moment and paying attention to it and letting the distraction go. Started a lifelong practice. Now, lesson 273 invites us to just such a practice. Meditation's a thing because present moment awareness is a thing. It's essential. Why is it essential? Well, it's the only moment we have. If we're upset about something that happened in the past, when are we upset? Now, not then. We could have been upset then, but then is then. It's gone. It's not here. It's not present. Yet we could choose to be upset about it in the present. Similarly, with the future, something that may or may not happen tomorrow could be the subject of great consternation and stress for you today. I mean, who hasn't obsessed about something that may never come to pass? When are we obsessing about something that may never come to pass? Right now. What may or may not ever come to pass hasn't arrived yet, or not arrived. We're in the present moment. So we could choose differently in the present moment. We could choose to be carried away by past thoughts, preoccupied with future thoughts, or present right now. Forgiveness brings us back to presence right now as we release the extraneous drama and formulate the wish to allow things to be as they are. Meditation brings us, with practice, this awareness of what's going on in the present moment. How can anyone be expected to deal with things if they're not aware they're happening? How can you be expected to forgive things if you're not aware that they're out there needing to be forgiven? This awareness takes place in the present moment. In meditation, in sitting meditation, for example, we practice letting that thought train, what some people call monkey mind, go. I mean, there's a reason, if you've practiced Buddhism or yoga, why this is so central. Because without present moment awareness, we're not here. We're carried away. We're running amok. And, well, literally, we're not present. It's very important. And the more that you practice this, you'll find that a gap opens up. And what I mean by this is ordinarily we have knee-jerk reactions, don't we? There's a stimulus and response, sometimes instant. People piss us off. We get triggered and we respond with judgment, with blame, with sometimes violent reactions, with verbally violent reactions. I don't know. We respond right away. Sometimes it's instantaneous because why? We're triggered. With the practice of spirituality, with the practice of these workbook exercises, with the practice of sitting meditation, what we can do is open up a gap between the event, someone says something that would ordinarily piss us off, and our reaction to it, our response. We can open up some space between stimulus and response. This allows us to behave differently, to forgive, to, if you can't forgive, walk away. It's huge. It allows us to reach for a better feeling in the moment. It's critical to the spiritual path. And the stillness of the peace of God is yours by right. You deserve to experience the truth of who you are. Stillness of the peace of God is yours. Lesson 273 invites us to claim it. I invite you to claim it. Jesus invites you to claim it. Any of your spiritual teachers invite you to claim it. A large part of the path is owning who we really are. No, it's not who we've been taught we are by the world, is it? It's something absolutely different than that, and deeper, more immutable. In fact, it's completely changeless. Isn't that comforting in a world where we're buffeted by change all the time, that our reality is changeless and has always been? So even though we've wandered in the darkness, who we are has never gone anywhere. So it's very important that we step into this. This is about allowing truth to be as it is. So as often as you get carried away today, do what lesson 273 invites you to do and say to yourself, the stillness of the peace of God is mine. Say it again. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. All right. Let's leave it at that.